on set. Places, everybody. And action.
It's time once again for the Hooked on Movies podcast. Today, we are celebrating the anniversary of the 1985 comedy Better Off Dead with Mr. John Cusack, of course. And with me are Ken.
This is pure snow. It's everywhere. Do you have any idea what the street value of this mountain is? Wait a minute. Outrageous. I think I just froze the left half of my brain. Look, I can't move my right arm.
And Ted.
Gee, I'm really sorry your mom blew up, Eric. Guess she won't be able to eat any spicy foods for a while.
Hey, and of course, I'm Eric. I gotta say the iconic line. I have to. Everyone together. $2.
$2.
Want my $2. That's right.
$2.
If you don't
Ted
know
doesn't
Better
think
Off
that's-
Dead, you probably know that line, unless, of course, you're Ted. Then you don't.
Nope.
But he does now.
Oh,
So
I do.
you do. And like Ted, we want to thank everyone who listens to us. Of course, our friends at the Dorkening Network and on all the available hosting networks that you can find our podcast on. Thank you so much for listening. And let's talk about the first time we saw this movie. We'll go right to Ken.
Cable, probably 1986 sometime.
Hell, man, I'm right with you. Cable, somewhere in the 1980s. Why wouldn't it be? It was on everywhere. And of course, Ted.
I actually saw it in the theater.
You lie so much. Yes.
I lie like a rug.
Like a
Yeah.
rug.
Yeah, no. I saw it 2 days ago. So
Ted somehow has avoided this movie for 40 years.
Ted lies like a French exchange student.
and I've been all the better for it. Please,
Most of you will hate that line, but that's okay.
It's okay. Well,
please send me all the hate mail.
yeah, right. Send it all. Send it all
We're
to.
still getting it from Real Genius. So
Yeah, of course we are. Right.
and
right.
and the Goonies.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I'd
All
rather
right.
watch the Goonies again.
Well, you've kind of laid your cards out early on this one, haven't you? Well, let's talk about the particulars, Ted.
The particulars, Better Off Dead, is directed by, I hate to say that his first name is Savage, but I don't, because I don't believe that it is. But it's Savage Steve Holland.
Macho Man,
Savage
Savage
Steve
Steve Holland.
Oh, yeah.
I think that he gave himself that first, the Savage thing.
It was the 80s.
And oh yeah, and it was a screenplay by Savage Steve Holland. The most interesting thing I found out about him was that he was the designer and the animator for the Whammy on Press Your Luck. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Was he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was shocked, and so he did do something good.
Shocked and
So-
chagrined.
The music and score was by Rupert Hine. Has a running time of 97 minutes. A release date of August 23rd, 1985. Had a budget of $3.5 million, and it had a box office gross of $10.3 million. So it more than doubled its money. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a critic score of 75% and an audience score of 85%. It has an IMDb rating of 7.1. Better Off Dead stars John Cusack as Lane Meyer, David Ogden Stiers as Al Meyer, Diane Franklin as Monique Junot, Kim Darby as Jenny Mayer, Curtis Armstrong as Charles DeMar, Amanda Weiss as Beth, Aaron Dozier as Roy Stalin, Damian Slade as Johnny Gasparini, Scooter Stevens as Badger Meyer, Yuji Okamoto as Yi Suk Rei. And unfortunately, all of his lines are overdubbed by Rich Little. Brian Imada as Chen Rei, Laura Waterby as Mrs. Smith, Dan Schneider from Head of the Class plays Ricky Smith, Chuck Mitchell as Rocco, Vincent Schiavelli as Mr. Carver, Taylor Negron as the mailman, Rick Rosenthal as Smitty, and E.G. Daly as herself. I like Vincent Schiavelli. I think I've seen him.
How
in
can you
quite a
not?
few
He just
things.
recently died too, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He was really cool in a lot of things.
He's in all those weird, Ghost,
Ghost,
Fast
he's in,
Times.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's in Amadeus too.
Yeah, I mean he's a great actor.
Yeah,
Actually, hasn't he been dead for a very long time, actually?
Everyone,
can't-
everyone in my eyes is dead like 5 years. It turns out they've been dead for like 15.
Yeah, right. It seems
And
like it's recent.
I know Taylor Negron's been dead for a while.
He's been dead since 2005, so
That's
almost
beautiful.
wow.
20
coming up on
years.
20 years.
Yeah.
20 years. Well,
That sucks.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, we salute you. 20th
Mhm.
anniversary of your death.
20th
20 years,
anniversary of your death. Wow.
On a happier note, I hope Ten's got some really fascinating tidbits about this movie.
Ken's
tidbits.
Ken's tidbits.
And here's
Well,
Ken.
According to Macho Man Savage Steve Holland.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Give me a Slim Jim. The film is
Snap
mostly
Slim Jim.
autobiographical. He was suicidal when he was in high school because his girlfriend left him for the captain of the ski team. And then following
Right.
the film's release, his ex-girlfriend contacted him to apologize. Ted says she called to apologize that he had to make such a gruesome movie. 12-year-old Damian Slade, who was the newspaper boy, he wore a leather jacket to his audition and looked serious because his approach was, if I will look like a serial killer with no intentions of making it funny. So that was his goal. Kind of worked, in my opinion.
It's odd for a 12-year-old to go to an interview like that or a casting audition like that. But okay.
Yeah. Parents make their kids do.
I was going to say, I'm
really
sure the
strange
parents
things.
has a little something to do with
I'm
that
sure.
one.
Oh, I'm
Let's
sure.
ask Macaulay Culkin how him and his parents got along. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Let's don't.
Diane Franklin had her manager contact the Dodgers to see if they would be interested in having her do a autograph signing, and they said no, but you can come and sing the national anthem. But they introduced her just as Diane Franklin, not from Better Off Dead,
Right.
not from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
Adventure. Yeah.
just her name. And
Yeah.
she's like, who's going to know me from singing the national anthem, right? So
Nobody.
nobody.
I'd like to
Made
say a
no
very
sense.
racially comment right now, but I'll refrain. Let's just say, as a true blue Dodger fan, if the national anthem is not sung in Spanish, probably no one's going to know who she is.
Oh.
And
all
I'm a
right,
Dodger fan, so
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it was also
Oyo
quite
Oyo
early.
como va.
Despite his initial hatred of the film, John Cusack did not like this film. He walked out actually watching the initial
Screening
The
of it?
screening of it, the initial screening, yeah. And basically, he was making another film with the director, called One Crazy Summer, which is another movie I
Great
particularly
movie, sure.
like. Yeah. Ted will hate that one too. But in 2013, Cusack admitted that he does not hate the film or making it. He just wishes some things were better, and that he's happy that it has achieved cult status and that it remains popular. He just felt like, things could have been better, but he says that's how he feels about most of the movies that he does. Fonzie was instrumental in getting this film made. Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler
Yep.
or Fonzie the Bear?
Fonzie the Bear. Probably both had a little bit to do with it. So Winkler saw Savage's short film. It was called, I guess, My 11-Year-Old Birthday Party. I don't know what that is, but okay. And he took a liking to Holland, so he suggested Holland check out John Cusack's The Sure Thing, which Winkler was an executive producer of, and suggested Cusack be his main guy. Of course, the studios didn't want him because up to then he was only known as one of the nerd kids in 16 Candles. He was also in Class, too. Aaron Dozer, who plays the antagonist in this movie, he actually insulted the director by saying, "Who's the fat guy?" Yeah,
Nice. So he's a bully naturally. Then is what you're saying.
And so the director's like, "You're hired, I guess." So,
Oh, okay.
I guess if
Oh.
you could rip on the director, I guess, and yeah, I guess that works for some people.
Oh, the director's a fat guy?
Yeah, I guess he was a little chubby guy at that time, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess he went in and said, "Who's the chubby surfer guy?"
Something
Nice.
to that extent, yeah. So people protested of the original film's tagline, which said, "Sometimes you're better off dead." So it was changed to "Relax, you're never better off dead."
That's a little different. That's a
little
complete
different.
180, but okay.
So when Beth shows up at her high school dance, the person standing behind her is wearing a sweater similar to Freddy Krueger's sweater,
Mm-hmm.
because Amanda Weiss played Krueger's first victim in A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
And that's all I have.
I call bullshit on Savage Steve Holland that this was like his real life. I come off of it. No, I call bullshit.
I think he might have been suicidal because his girlfriend left him for the
That
captain.
might be, but he also went so far as to say that his mom gave him frozen dinners for Christmas and shit like that. No.
She said that he said that she was a weird cook too. So yeah, I saw that.
That might be, but come on, no.
Well,
I
maybe
love the frozen
she
dinners.
had some. Yeah, maybe she had some issues. Right?
I call bullshit.
Maybe she's mentally not all there.
Probably.
Probably.
I think this guy is eccentric, to say the least. That's why I said I didn't even want to say Savage was his first name, because I think that he gave it to himself. I can't prove that, but
he is somebody that really gets into like claymation and into
he's done a lot
drawing
of TV
and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's done a lot of Disney TV shows and Nickelodeon TV shows. That's right where he belongs.
Come on, they got the rights for Everybody Wants Some, right? That's
hard.
That's a cool song in this.
A highlight of the movie.
A highlight, yeah.
On that note, Eric, why don't you take us to the movie plot?
Better Off Dead is a 1985 American teen dark comedy film directed by Savage Steve Holland. Oh yeah. Story centers on Lane Meyer, high school student living in a small California town. Lane is somewhat awkward but good-hearted teenager who is passionate about skiing and deeply in love with his girlfriend Beth. Lane's world is turned upside down when Beth abruptly breaks up with him for the popular and athletic Roy Stalin, the captain of the ski team. Devastated, Lane spirals into a series of increasingly comical and exaggerated suicide attempts, each of which fails in absurd and slapstick fashion. I guess that's one way of putting it. His eccentric family adds to the chaos. His oblivious father, his strange mother, his genius little brother all contribute to Lane's growing sense of isolation. Meanwhile, Lane's neighbor, Monique, a French exchange student, becomes an unexpected friend and ally. Monique helps Lane regain his confidence, teaching him to fix his car and encouraging him to stand up for himself. Over time, Lane and Monique develop a close bond, and Lane begins to move on from Beth. The film culminates in a climactic ski race down the treacherous K-12 slope, where Lane must face Roy Stalin to win back his self-respect. With Monique's support, Lane overcomes his fears and defeats Roy, proving his worth to himself and his peers. By the end, Lane finds new happiness with Monique, realizing that his life is worth living and that he is better off than he ever imagined.
A lot of ski movies in the 80s. A lot of ski movies.
A lot of ski movies. Yeah.
Yes.
Ski Patrol, Ski School.
Ski School, baby.
Aspen Extreme.
Extreme.
Oh.
Now we're talking. You want to talk about bad movies. Aspen Extreme.
I don't know why all of a sudden like skiing became as popular as it did, but
yeah, there's a bunch of ski, right?
I have no idea. All I remember is that it was very popular. like NBC used to show it on
Sure.
on the Wide World of Sports did too. Well, that's the famous thing. That's the agony of defeat. is
Defeat,
that guy,
right.
That guy running through the barrier and stuff. I don't know.
We got to do
All
Ski
right.
Patrol. I love Ski Patrol.
Ski
It's
Patrol.
a
There's
guilty
so-
pleasure. Yeah,
There's
it's-
so many bad ski
there are.
movies.
And they're not even coming to my mind now, but there are
yeah.
probably.
Are there any good ski movies?
Yeah,
besides this
probably
one.
not. Probably not.
Wait, wasn't there there was a ski scene in James Bond? Was A View to a Kill or Octopussy? Octopussy, right?
That's
yeah,
right.
even they
There
jumped
it
on the
is.
ski
I think
bandwagon.
that's
Yeah.
80,
Yes.
what, 86?
No,
84?
if it's
That-
Octopussy, it's 83.
Was that
83?
Roger
so
Moore.
that would have been Dalton, or
No, it was Roger
would that
Moore.
That would have been your boy. Yeah,
It was my boy Roger Moore. That's right. Yes, everyone.
Old
Man
Bond.
Moore, who was a great skier. Everyone was
Man
jumping
Bond.
on. Everyone's jumping on the bandwagon.
I don't know why the '80s drew everybody to want to ski, but
How about Hot Dog, the movie?
Oh, Hot Dog. There you
I've
go.
never even heard of Hot Dog.
I've seen Hot Dog. Yeah,
I would have thought that wasn't that called Sausage Party?
no. Hot Dog is an actual ski movie.
Hot Dog. Okay.
Sausage Party is a borderline pornographic.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, man. It's
pretty funny.
pretty disturbing, is what it is. But
It's disturbing.
it's disturbing. All right. Well, we're going to go on some tangents here, so let's get focused. Let's focus on the first question. This one's for you, Ted,
Oh boy.
because I'm curious
Yeah.
to what your thoughts are, because I'm sure they're going to
Yeah.
be different than everyone
Yeah.
else's.
Probably.
What are the main challenges faced by Mr. Lane Meyer in this film? He's got a few of them.
Before we get too into this, and I get hated by everybody, which I probably will anyway, I think I'm late to this party. This was.
And what
I
does that
think-
exactly mean, Ted?
I think that the time for this movie has come and gone, and me watching it for the first time now is not a good idea. I think it's very bad that way, and I
it's a
think
great
that
idea.
So
had
Ted
I-
doesn't have a sense of humor, is what he's saying.
had I seen it before in the '80s when a lot of this stuff was it probably would be better. So the challenges that he faces, what do I think of them?
Let's talk about him.
They're self-imposed, and
That's a good way of looking at
they're-
it.
I mean, he's solely focused, and I completely understand this, and I can actually sympathize with him being solely focused on the one girl.
Everything revolves around Beth.
Everything revolves around Beth. He has the blinders on just for her.
The coat hangers are a little bit much.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
Just a
I-
tad.
So yeah, I mean that's his biggest thing, and I mean it is lack of self-confidence in himself that he can't do things when
Well,
in fact, he
the
can.
movie starts off obviously with, you can see waking up, the obsession he has with Beth. His
Right.
self-confidence is high as a kite at that point.
Yeah, I mean, he believes that he can do anything.
Anything
and
at that point, right?
And then she blows him off for why the guy's last name had to be Stalin. I'll never
I
know.
know, right?
And he's not even a good '80s bad guy.
No, he's like an
very-
'80s bully. He's a bully.
He's not a good '80s bully.
No, he's a bad bully.
He's
yes.
a one-dimensional
it's
bully.
horrible.
So.
Yeah.
As far as '80s bullies go, he's on the trash heap. It's all in his head. He lets it get into his head in everything that he does, and it's unfortunate. And I'm sure that you have a question about the suicide things.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
I don't get offended, and I'm not offended. But as somebody who has dealt with suicidal ideations and things like that, I don't like it played off for jokes. It's a little disturbing that it's played off as a jokey type of a thing. I don't think it's funny that they fail. I don't think it's funny at all.
So you
I
want him
think-
dead?
No, I don't
Oh.
want him dead.
Okay.
I want him to get help. And
Well,
he
that's
doesn't
not a
seem-
comedy.
And
That's
he doesn't seem like anybody in his life, except for the French foreign exchange student, is willing to actually help him. Even his best friend doesn't help him. So she's the only person in the whole movie that actually helps him gain his confidence back. And that's kind of sad, in my opinion. I don't think it's funny. I think that's kind of sad that, that he gets himself into that position. And
well, I think we have narrowed the movie down for Ted. That is probably the main reason why you don't find the movie funny.
In case in point, there's a movie called Dead Man on Campus. And it's a bad, bad movie. And they try to kill their roommate and make him commit suicide. And some of that is funny because it's played off as funny. This guy he's crying for help to people, and they just kind of blow him off.
That's what's so funny about it. It's Cusack, man.
They're not blowing him off. Nobody seems to know that this is what he's doing. The only person
nobody cares.
Whoever sees him do it. The only person that seems to know that he wants to commit suicide is Booger.
Right, and he doesn't help.
Well, he tries to talk him out of it. He pushes him off.
He pushes him off the bridge.
One of the funniest scenes of him falling
into
the garbage.
Pushes him off the bridge.
Yes.
It's just a shame when people throw a
perfectly good white boy out that way. Yeah,
right. It's awesome. It's awesome.
That was actually funny.
It was funny. Yes,
that was funny.
But the only other person that actually notices is Monique. I mean, his dad and his mom should have known when he went through the garage door.
When his dad's reading that book, trying to talk with him.
Trying to talk to him. Yeah.
Mellow up, man.
Yeah.
His mom and dad are two of the worst characters I've ever seen on film.
Now, see, I think they are the funniest characters in this movie. The father, especially, because he is so out of touch.
So horrible.
So out of touch.
She's got issues.
And he's best known.
She should be in an asylum.
She should be.
Why, for cooking an octopus?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
boiling bacon.
It's hard to believe that his mom is the same person who starred in that John Wayne film, True Grit. She played the girl.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
John Wayne screwed her up.
So what I would, of course you were.
Another reason to hate John Wayne.
Dun.
I would say what I like about Meyer is the fact that he is going through things that most guys go through in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not necessarily all the way to the extreme of what this movie does, but let's be honest.
It's very
put
relatable.
all his marbles into this Beth basket, and then when it came shattering down, there's no life there because everything revolves around her. So I buy that. I understand where you're coming from on the suicide. It's not a funny subject. If you're going to make fun of it, I think this is the way to go. I think the fact that when he is about to hang himself, he's changing his mind, and his mom opens the door, and while she's vacuuming, but she keeps on hitting the door, which keeps on hitting him.
Right.
I think those type of things are funny.
Having the noose, what was it, the tie? Right? He's going to burn himself with the paint thinner, right? Set him on fire.
He's gonna do self-immolation.
Right. Yeah, so he brings it to the table, and of course the father's like, "What's that smell?" But he doesn't really ever say anything,
Right.
Here's the other thing about the suicide is he never gets to that point where he really wants to do it. Before his mom hits him, he's like, "This is crazy. What am I doing here?" Same thing about the car. Before he's like, each time he is second guessing himself and realizing this isn't the right thing to do. So I think that's how they get away with it, that he actually never really fully tries to do
commits,
it.
Right.
Yeah, not 100%. And then he does have other challenges. He doesn't have many friends. His best friend is a guy who wants to do drugs, but
he has one friend. He has one friend.
He has one friend that's been in high school for 7 years.
Yeah.
He's no dummy.
He's
he's a very, very poor Bluto Blutarski.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very poor. But, he thinks that getting high is snorting snow because
he snorts everything.
Nasal spray. Can I get some?
He says that it's so bad there he can't get real drugs. He snorts with nasal spray. How do you think I could score some?
Right.
So I mean, yeah. So he's supposed to be the guy who's like the drugged out guy, but he really isn't.
But there's no drugs. Yeah.
But there's no drugs. Yeah. That's all he has is him, and then eventually Monique. His brother is on another planet. His parents don't get him.
His brother doesn't say one word in the entire movie.
in the whole film.
Nope.
But he's got all those women on New Year's Eve. So there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I relate to Lane here is because of the fact he also self-analysis.
That's a John Cusack staple.
Which started here on this
Possibly.
movie. I think he thinks things out like we all do. I think he's relatable. And I think that's why some people like this movie as much as they do, is because he is more relatable than most characters in the 80s of this type of movie. When we watched Revenge of the Nerds, we could not relate to any of those characters that were in there.
But you are right. His character being solely focused on this one girl and having his heart broke, that is completely understandable, completely relatable. Because I'm sorry, if you didn't go through that in high school at some point, then all the more power to you, and I tip my cap to you. But I think that is part of the growing up process. And so, yeah, in that sense, he's very relatable. It's everything around him that's not relatable.
I think also what's really relatable about him is not just a girl. It's the things that he's about half-ass on everything. School, the car, the skiing even probably. He wants these things to work out, but he doesn't give the 100% effort.
It's very relatable, too.
Even the job, his dad got him.
Even the job,
Right.
yeah.
Screwed that one up, yeah.
It's
Right.
very relatable. It's very relatable.
And that could be because of Beth. It could be that, he was a good skier until Beth came, and then he stopped practicing. He might have been okay at school, but Beth came, so he stopped studying. They talk about the car races, right? They make fun of him because they said he at one time was really good, but maybe he met Beth and didn't care about it as much anymore, right? So
Beth ruined his life more than one way,
to a certain extent,
Yeah.
yes, because obsession takes you away from everything else you care about. Friends, family, school,
Yep.
work, whatever. That's what obsession will do.
Very relatable also. And that's where I think this movie works. It's just everything around him is just so over the top.
Let's talk about the supporting characters of this movie.
I hate them all.
Well, let's go deeper into that. You tell us how you feel. You hate every one of them.
There's a couple that I like.
Which ones do you like, Ted?
Actually, I like Beth, and I like Monique.
You like Beth? Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think that she, while making a shallow decision, comes to realize that what she had with Lane was something worthwhile. And you see that in her delivery towards the very end.
Oh, come on! She just sucks on to whoever is the top of the bill.
I will say this for you, Ted. Throughout the movie, whenever her boyfriend is ripping on Lane,
I hate him.
she feels the look of uncomfortableness on her face.
Yes.
Right, and that's
but she still keeps dating him, though.
That's what I'm talking about when I say that I like her, and I do. I think that she made a poor decision, and she knows that she made a poor decision. I really do believe that. And of course, I really like Monique. I think she's also stuck in a very, very horrible situation. The other character that I do like, I really wish it had been his voice, but I like the Asian guy that does the Howard Cosell. I actually think that is funny.
It is funny.
I think that is amusing.
Chosen.
And the fact that it's Rich Little doing the voice and not him, it really that hurt my feelings.
It made no difference to me. It really didn't.
Because I wanted it to be him. Because I actually liked that character. I thought that character was actually funny. But as far as the rest of them, that kid across the street is completely obnoxious. His mom is even worse. The parents in this movie, I can't even begin to tell you how much I hate the parents in this movie.
All right, let's do a little bit of a deeper dive here. We kind of did this on our last one. Let's do a little bit of a character analysis of some of the main characters, okay?
Do we have to?
Yeah, we do. So,
Okay.
We're going to start off with Curtis Armstrong as Charles DeMar. Lane's best friend, Booger, as he will ultimately
he?
be known as.
Yeah, he's Booger.
He's typecast. That's who he is. He knows it. We know it.
Is he really his best friend?
He's his only friend, and he is his
only
best
friend.
friend.
When I think of a best friend has that Silent Bob moment. Has that moment where they tell the person, "You're a dumbass. Can't you see what's in front of you?"
Well, Ted, there is a fine line between best friend and only friend, isn't there?
Well,
And at some point, if it's your only friend and your best friend, I have to move the yard line there. It's who he is. He's there every step of the way, good or bad.
He's there. I mean,
is he a little over top with his obsession with storing stuff and carrying around animals and formaldehyde? Yeah. But
Yeah,
I would expect nothing less from Curtis Armstrong. This is the character he plays so well. I don't want him doing like Hamlet on Broadway. I want him doing cheap gag gifts.
I think Curtis Armstrong is what he is. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I think it works for this movie. You know, you want another guy who's just as messed up as you are, but on a different type of playing field.
He's just completely unfocused about life. He is just a complete imbecile.
I mean, he's carrying that jar of, what is that? Like
it's a lizard and formaldehyde. Yeah.
But he has his best supporter. I mean, he's the one that backs him up. When
until Monique obviously comes in the picture. But yeah.
But even then, they work as kind of a pair. He's a good friend. And I actually really like his character.
I do too.
He brings a different comic relief. The one thing about the supporting characters in general, and I'll touch on each one in a bit here with you, but they all bring something different to the table. The characters are all different. I think that plays off of Cusack's character so well. I think Armstrong does a fine job. I mean, it is a typecast role, but it fits this movie.
Exactly. Well, let's move on to Mr. Dan Schneider, who plays the crazy fat neighbor, Ricky Smith, who I did not like in Head of the Class, but that's irrelevant.
You didn't like him in Head of the Class?
I thought Head of the Class was a horrible sitcom, and I think it was a low point in Howard Hessman's career. But that's a totally different podcast.
I thought you liked Head of the Class.
No, why would I like Head of the Class? It's stupid.
Oh, I liked it.
It's stupid. Howard Hessman could have done so much more. And so was the Irish comedian who took his place after it. So, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Characters are pretty similar in a way, but Dan is really good in this role as playing a completely sheltered individual who I'm surprised doesn't get the shit beat out of him in high school every day, but apparently he doesn't. But he doesn't
even realize he doesn't realize that he's a dork.
Yeah, I know. He's a mama's boy, obviously. It is funny, the way he dresses, the way he acts, the way he is just completely oblivious to everything around him and how he acts in front of people. I love it.
I think it just doesn't matter to people.
He doesn't care.
He's not even worth the time for bullies to even bully him. Stalin does bully him a little bit at the table when he pushes him, but in general, he's just kind of he's just forgettable. What I don't like about the character is he's two different characters. So at the beginning, he doesn't even talk to Monique. He's too busy playing with his doll.
True. And towards the end, he's like a brainiac. You don't want to upset Mother. You know,
all of a
sudden he turns into Norman Bates.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a little too much one way or the other with this character instead of gradually changing him. Yeah. His character's a little inconsistent.
I got the impression that had Monique stayed there much longer, he was going to wear her face as a mask.
Yeah, something was going to, or the mother was, one or the other. Yeah, I
don't know. They were gonna kill her in some way.
The only reason why I like Ricky is because of the mom factor and at the dinner table. That stuff for me is fun.
I wish she would have died.
Wow. That's a little harsh, but
I wish that the explosion actually killed all the parents in this movie.
Wow.
Took everyone out?
Not that.
Another great segue by Ted. Let's talk about Lane's parents, Jenny Meyer and Al Meyer.
I like the dad character because of, like you said earlier, Eric, he wants to connect with his son, but he doesn't know how.
Does he?
Yes, he does.
Really? He does.
He does. Yes.
He tries to talk to him about his car He's trying to relate with him at the end. He tries to set him
He
up
wants
with a
him to
girl.
get rid of the car.
Well,
He
yeah,
wants him to get the
rid
car
of
fixed. He wants it
Fixed.
out of his driveway.
Right. He wants him to like do something with his life. So I think he's pushing him.
Okay.
You know, he realizes that his relationship with Beth is over and that he's, you know, obsessive, and that's why he tries to set him up on a date.
But he's
With
just
the-
so out of touch.
He doesn't
he's
do
just so
anything
untouched.
constructive.
He
He
does the
tries
best
to.
he can. The
tries
book
to.
is his constructiveness.
Okay.
And I mean, like I said, he does set him up with his lawyer partner's
Braceface.
daughter,
Which is funny. Which is funny.
Which
That
a
is
little
a funny scene.
That
which
is
what-
pretty funny.
So I do like the father, and you know, I do like the fact that he's going up against the paper boy with the windows on the
Okay.
garage door.
A little obsessed, yeah.
That's a little obsessed. I'm not a big fan of the mother for the most part. I do love the fact that she gets him that Aardvark jacket where
Well, everyone's going to be wearing them.
and the neighbor's
Yeah.
wearing it too.
The
So
neighbor's wearing them too. Exactly.
that was kind
Yeah.
of funny. But outside that, she doesn't have a connection with Lane.
She doesn't have a connection with reality.
No, she doesn't. She is
No.
a space cadet, which is the funny
She-
part.
If in another universe, this is actually Lane in an insane asylum, and he's playing all of these characters off as people that are in the insane asylum.
This could be a dream sequence, to be honest.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
But it also reminds me a little of Weird Science a little bit, where some of the things in Weird Science were just, I think Chet turns into some type of gloopy alien or something.
I think so.
Yeah, so there's little harkens to those things. And the 80s were playing around with crap like this, where they just threw in just stupidity in there. But
she has absolutely no personality.
Well, that's
There's
the whole
nothing
point
there.
of it. She's very one-dimensional. She only sees things at face value, like when his brother cuts the cardboard backs off of the cereal boxes.
I hate that too.
Doesn't phase her at all.
Yeah,
right?
I hate that too. I would.
was a thing.
I would kill his brother for doing that.
That was a thing. A lot of people.
I know
were
it was,
cutting
but
those things
usually
out.
eat the food
After.
first. But that's
Right.
yeah.
And
that's
you're
the-
a little young, 85, 84, 85. You're what? Like 5 years old, 4 years old, somewhere around there.
Who?
Yeah, I knew that their toys came in the boxes,
It
and
wasn't just
and
toys.
you cut UPC codes off and sent them in. Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, I mean, but there were also, usually the toys were still inside there, but it was these like sweepstakes
Send away
and
for
stuff
stuff.
like that.
Yeah.
The sweepstakes. Yeah,
And so this was
I remember that.
That's why they got those bags. The bags was
Exactly.
to keep
Right.
things fresh. They
Yeah.
kept it so people could cut out the coupon.
because
whatever and
people are
send them off.
stupid, like his brother, and cutting them out
But
before
I like that joke because it was real.
Okay.
It was.
Right.
It was everything. It was the stuff in the. It was like dog bones. It was like anything in the cat food.
Lane,
The
yeah,
cat food. Yeah.
cat
Lane,
food.
Yes.
Lane almost eats the cat food because
Almost
he's,
eats the
Lane-
cat food. Right.
Lane should have belted him for that.
Should have belted Junior. Yeah.
But his mom is one of the most useless characters in the whole movie.
I don't think
She
she's
doesn't-
useless. I think
Yeah,
she is the absurdity comic relief that's needed. Come on, she's boiling some type of an alien. Let's be honest. You're not going to see that. Deep
And it-
frying or boiling
and of
bacon.
Course, and of
Bacon?
course, it
Yeah.
has to move off of his plate.
That was funny. I like
No, it's
that.
not.
Yes.
It's not funny.
I think some of it's a little absurd. I
It's
agree with
exaggerated.
Detective Step, but
It's
not-
exaggerated.
It's not something that makes me go, "This movie's dumb. I don't like this
No.
movie because of that." I do agree, though, that out of all the supporting characters, she might be my least favorite.
She's an absurd character, and that's I think what's needed. There's a few absurd things in this movie that kind of upset me. Two things that stood out. I'll just bring them up now. Number one, that the car goes from a piece of junk to a collectible
To a Chevy
machine
SS.
in mint condition,
Right.
and all they have are like hand tools. Yes, okay,
Right.
that's very realistic. And then the other one is they're in that nice little suburban area, and all of a sudden their high school ski team is in the middle of the Alps.
Right.
Come on.
Well, they did say that it was a drive to those mountains.
Yes.
So
Northern California was noted, but still, it's a little absurd.
It's like a 5-hour drive.
It's a long drive, but I let that go. The character I like the least, which is Beth.
Yeah.
and it's the one that Ted likes the most, which is ironic.
One of them.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think Beth is a very weak
I'll change my
character.
mind, Beth. Yeah. Give me
But-
something why you like Beth as much as you do, because I don't get it.
Because I like Beth because she plays the part she needs to be, a backstabbing, conniving girlfriend who really only goes for the next best thing that's in line.
Yeah.
I don't think she
agree.
has any redeeming qualities.
I agree with that, but I also see in her performance where she feels that there's some regret there about how he's
by the way,
being
No,
treated
I don't see
and
regret.
stuff like
I don't
that.
see regret.
What is it about these 80 movies that play off that the girl that he's totally in love with
Right.
is not attractive as the one that likes him? So I mean,
That's even in the 90s.
Yeah,
Look at
that-
She's All That
Oh, I love that
exactly,
movie.
right.
Yeah.
with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
So I don't like Beth because Beth is not that attractive, at least not to the point of obsession attractiveness. I think. I let's be honest,
I disagree.
Monique-
I respectfully
Monique
disagree.
is much hotter by far.
Well, yeah, I think they both are.
I don't think they both are.
They both have that very 80s look.
I don't think she's ugly or anything by that means, and not to, I think she's attractive to a certain extent, but she's not drop dead gorgeous. She's
We
not.
could have used more bikini scene.
Oh yeah, she kind of had a good body from what I saw.
More
that.
hardcore nudity in this to get that R rating. I see. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the 80s. It could have
It
happened.
is. It is
I
the
do
80s.
like
Yeah.
the scene. I do like the scene where they first meet and he accidentally steps on the picnic and it sticks to his shoes.
She's the
Yeah.
best part of that whole sequence.
I don't know if she's the best thing, but I mean that's.
Do
the
you
only
do you
time
like the scene where he's doing his little drawing and they're talking, through the drawing, the animation,
That's sick. That's so
And-
sick, Blaine. Yeah, she's
It's
yelling
okay.
at him,
and
screaming at
they
him.
mentioned the girl, the cheerleader who's dating the whole basketball team,
I hate
Not just
that.
certain
Yeah.
players on the team, the whole
The
team.
whole
The whole
team.
team.
and they're just like,
Exactly.
I mean, they're just like
Yeah,
mongoloids. So
I like her, but
Now,
that's just stupid.
now, her, the one that's on with the basketball players, if she was the one that played Beth, yeah, because
Well, she's only been in 2 movies I saw on her IMDb. This
Doesn't-
and the next movie, the summer movie.
But it doesn't really matter because the girl that plays the hot attractive girl doesn't have to be anything but something to look at, right? They didn't give her enough of a backstory to make her interesting enough for me. So
For Beth,
I mean, yeah, for
or
Beth.
the girl who's dating all the best.
No, I know enough backstory to know that I have a shot. I played basketball, so
We all have a shot.
But anyway,
She's like 7-Eleven. She's open all 24 hours a day.
I just love it when the teacher goes, ask, I know that you broke up with, the
everyone, the
I-
mailman, the
yeah,
teacher, yeah.
I don't like that.
It is.
It's stupid, but okay. I think that he's projecting that. I don't think that they actually ask him. I think that he's projecting that. I think
Maybe. Still funny.
some of the things that happen in this movie are his projections that he sees. Like everything revolves around Beth, and so people are asking him, "Can I date Beth? Can I do this?" And blah blah blah.
Like she is the most important person in the world.
In the world,
Like
exactly.
everyone wants Beth.
Right, and like the TV even asks.
Yes.
I think
Barney.
that those are all his. Those are all his mental projections onto
I like to
the
think
world.
it's that way. I think it plays off funnier that way. if
I'm
that's
sure
the
it
case.
is. I'm sure it is.
It has to be, because if it's not, it's very very weird.
Okay, well, what about the teacher driving off with Beth in his little VW Bug? You think that didn't happen? He was just kind of
Yes,
Yeah.
Or the
it did not
or the
happen.
mailman when he delivered all the. Actually, to me,
Right.
that's not projecting because they gave him,
I'm
an
sure
entrance.
the mailman was there. I just don't think that they had that conversation.
I think they did, but that's.
Okay.
I think they did.
then it makes
I don't. I agree with you. I'm not sure if it's that funny.
it's
I don't-
because it's weird. It's if it's not his projections, then it's very very weird.
No, that's what this movie is. Sometimes it's just weird. That's 80s movies for you.
Well, speaking of weird people, let's talk about Miss Diane Franklin. Monique, because she's French. That's why she's weird.
I feel bad for her.
Yes, as we all should. Exactly.
I feel
don't-
scared for her.
Yes.
I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel scared for her.
I feel very scared.
How
for
can
her.
you not feel? I felt bad and scared for her.
Because she is trying to like tell Lane how to tackle things, and she can't tackle her own. You know, she's telling him how she
basically
needs.
kidnapped.
She's sold.
She's
bought and
basically being
sold.
held hostage.
Yes.
She is, but it takes somebody for like Lane to get her out of that situation as well.
Lane is probably the only normal person in this entire movie.
To her. Yeah.
I mean, he's the only one that actually has character. Let's keep it 100. And
She's got
so
character.
she feels safe with him because she doesn't feel like he's going to wear her face as a mask. I mean,
I don't think she's ever scared for her life. She never says anything
I think
to that
she
extent.
is. I
No.
would be.
She laughs at it. She goes outside and has a picture of him.
She also throws lemons at a stop sign.
She's frustrated with.
Well, he's
this
going to put his
situation.
tentacles on her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
I-
testicles.
Yeah. That's so.
Tentacles. Yes.
But I don't think she's ever afraid of her life. But she knows
She
what
should be.
situation she got into, and she'd rather just pretend that.
The worst foreign exchange student deal that has ever been made in the entire history of the foreign exchange student program.
Yeah, because the father did make the good point. Like, aren't they supposed to speak English when they come over here?
Right.
It's her defense mechanism, which makes perfect sense.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't
Yes.
speak English either,
Right.
even if I could. It'd
You
be
know,
like, yeah, no.
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually funny when he
Yes.
starts to talk louder because
Yeah.
people actually do that.
Yes,
That's actually
exactly.
kind of funny.
Yes.
Talking louder is not going to make it any better,
I
but,
know.
but it's something that humans
What people do. I know.
It's something that Americans
She's
do.
a fine girl with a hearty handshake. So
Yes.
But as far as a character, she actually has depth.
She does.
It's a novel.
She's a
novel
Dodger
idea
fan.
for this
She's
movie.
a ASE certified mechanic.
we forgive her for the Dodger fan thing. So
Uh-huh.
That was
It was
back in the
before
80s
it
where
was
the
before the
Dodgers-
Dodgers were the evil empire.
That's right.
right. Let's be honest. She's beautiful. She has a lot of, like we said, we talked about. She knows how to fix cars, but she's also somebody that can't do it all. She helps Lane get
She
started.
skis too.
She
Yeah,
skis too.
She's a good
Yeah.
skier. She does
Well, she's
everything.
French.
Oh,
She's
she
French.
should have.
of course.
She should have raced Stalin
Yes.
down the
Yeah.
K-12. Right?
Shouldn't
So-
she be smoking too? She
If
should
you,
get
uh,
along with Mrs. Smith.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I do definitely like her character, and I think her character is much different than all the other girls in these 80s and 90s flicks where they're the ugly duckling that becomes the prom queen and stuff like that. I think her character is more unique to Monique than these other characters because she has these gifts like helping with the car and skiing and she likes the Dodgers and there's just so much about her that I like. I just think it's a little refreshing compared to all the other stereotypes that we get in these type of movies.
All right, and moving on, another great segue for Ken. Let's talk stereotypes. Let's talk Yi Suk Ri and Chen Ri, our
I don't
two
know.
favorite Asian people.
I don't know any Asian people that drag race though, but I mean it's
Well, they're drag racing
I-
in a very beat up 1960s vehicle,
You've
but that's
seen
not the
Fast
comedy part.
You've not seen Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift?
I have, and that's the one that doesn't fit at all, right? So
It
It's all
doesn't.
it's
It
all
doesn't.
the same movie. It doesn't
I
matter
know.
which one
It's
you
good.
see. So
I like it though.
I don't know if they're portrayed as stereotypes though in this one. This one is kind of weird for me because even though the Howard Cosell thing is very funny, I'm with
is.
Ted. I wish that it
they're
wasn't.
wearing the jackets. I know you wanted the
Like,
you
well, I
wanted
guess
like a
originally,
Did you want an Asian kind of voice to go along with the Howard Cosell?
Originally, that's what he did. He did an Asian version of it, and he's actually overdubbed later. He doesn't know about the dubbed until the movie comes out.
Until the movie comes out, that's low, man. That's cheap. That's cheap.
He thinks he's getting this part for his comic impression of Howard Cosell, and then he's not good enough, right? And then the other guy doesn't speak any English, so
no, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't even speak.
I think where it gets like stereotyped is like when the girls are in the car and
eating the Chinese food and stuff,
and they're eating the Chinese food. Then that's when I'm like, oh, that's a little stereotypish there.
That's a little stereotype.
First of all, it's probably American Chinese food. So,
well, right. Chinese people don't call American Chinese food Chinese food. They call it something trash, probably.
And they're eating it in a car at a stop sign.
I did find that odd. Yes, they're literally at a stop sign eating at a stoplight.
Yeah,
little odd.
I enjoy the most part the drag races, especially when Lane is like, bumping into his future boss. Either backs into him or rams into him.
That too.
That's fine. I think it sets up the restaurant thing just fine. In general, I think the drag racing is a nice little touch.
I think they're funny. They're actually humorous. We don't need to know anything else about them, and that's just that
they're humorous and they're funny because it's unique. It's so over the top unique. Someone learning English from Howard Cosell. It's funny. And then the last main character, which isn't really a main character, but it is the movie itself, is our Paperboy with his famous $2 line.
It made me want to play the Paperboy video game.
Did it?
Other than that, it's
a running gag through the whole movie. Now, granted, it gets a little extreme. Now he's on skis. He's going down the mountain. All right. But
I do like it that he shows up at Dodger Stadium at the end, though. That's a nice little touch at the end. But I mean, this is what people loved about this movie in the 80s. They loved my $2. I mean,
plus tip.
And then you're like, wait a second, all those papers only come out to $2? Man, that's
an era.
Crazy. That's an era that's gone by. I mean, I was just at the grocery store, and I don't even think I saw an area where you could buy a newspaper.
Probably not.
They had like the area that looked like you could buy a newspaper, but there was no papers in it. And when I have seen newspapers, they're so thin.
The whole concept of a hard copy newspaper anymore is pretty much gone with the wind.
Sure, no one's getting papers anymore, and no one's getting them delivered. Let's be honest.
No. I mean, I was a paper boy. I never had to go door to door and ask for money, except for at the end of the year, we sold calendars to get tipped if you wanted to tip your paper boy.
But this might support you, Ted, on the projection thing, because you have that scene where you have like 100 paper boys chasing him. And what's the idea of it's New Year's Eve, it's probably like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and you got all these paper boys that are out going.
Obviously that did not happen.
You never see the paper boy ask anybody else for money either. They don't interact as a character with anybody but him.
And he's really hardcore for $2.
I remember my dad talking about that, where the paper boy would come ask for money for delivering the paper.
Sure.
He talked about that, but that was like the 50s and the 60s. In the 80s, that I believe that time had come and gone.
They would have paid an organization
for
those papers.
You would pay a subscription fee.
It's like when people go door to door selling magazines.
I was addicted to crack cocaine.
That's right.
40 subscriptions of Vibe.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if they would have been able to alternate the father and Lane going back and forth with the paper boy throughout the movie.
I wanted him reading the book more with Lane, just completely.
I think like you're right. I think the paper boy does the one time ask him for the money, and then it's just all part of Lane's psychosis.
His brother got his hand caught in the microwave, and his grandmother dropped acid, and.
Well, it doesn't play out that way though when they're doing the ski thing, because everybody else sees the guy.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, but I do think that one scene where he's at night, I think that could you could write that one off. But I like it. Like I said, though, I would have preferred a back and forth more between the father and Lane against the paper boy for different issues, because they killed off the paper boy throwing the paper against the windows very early in the film.
First scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you rotated between the two, I think that makes it more interesting. And he's throwing the papers at the windows because he hasn't got his $2 yet.
Yes.
And why does Lane get into the shower with his socks on?
Yeah, that don't make
And then
sense.
dries them with there's things about the movie that are like, okay, where are we going with this? I get it. We got all the characters we've talked about. We've talked about how Better Off Dead uses a lot of absurd and exaggerated situations to address real teenage issues or just the issues that are in Lane's head. But what does this film suggest about the expectations of like success and failure in high school life? Is it relatable to today's high school life? Teenagers? No, it's not.
No,
I
not
think
even,
to
not even remotely close.
No.
The only thing that's relatable is the human part of Lane, the loss of a girlfriend and that sort of thing.
The exaggerations, though, I mean, I thought it was very funny. The class. All the class loved being in the class. They wanted
Right.
to answer the questions. They all had their very antiquated equipment for doing the, which I thought was very funny. Very funny.
had to memorize 120 pages.
Like, oh.
I actually remember the compass.
Sure.
The chalk compass.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, he's daydreaming about his first time with her, and they got
Yes.
they get the tires stolen off the car. They
Oh, God,
get put on
yeah.
blocks.
That's-
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's silly, right? But I think this is relatable still to people in this particular age. The 80s and 90s pushed off too much of the baddie of high school that controls all of high school. I never experienced that, and I don't know many people that have. But I do think the issues of losing your girlfriend, just struggling with life in general, making friends, and suicide is a big thing for people in high school. And this movie tries to teach us, even though Ted doesn't like the comedy value of it. It does.
Well,
try
now
to tell you.
it's obviously like cyberbullying and
Mhm.
a lot of
Right.
It's different.
technological bases, but the reality of it is still you have to deal with it
Right.
one way or another. Yeah, it's just
Those real life aspects are very relatable.
I mean, they need to update a few things here and there, like you said about the cyberbullying, and but I still think there's real. I mean, I shouldn't say real. Cyberbullying is real, but I'm saying like direct bullying. I think still happens in high schools and things. Of that
well. Let me
nature.
ask you this: do you guys think this movie could be remade?
Yeah, sure.
That's an interesting question.
To a certain extent, they did.
Keeping the plot the way it kind of is.
It would be tough, but I think it could be. It would probably take somebody much smarter than Macho Man Randy Savage to rewrite
It'd
it.
be a different aspect. I don't even know if they would even call it Better Off Dead. It'd have to be a different aspect for the suicidal tendencies. I think the Asian aspect would offend people.
Probably.
There's a lot of little things I think that would probably set people off that you'd have to amend, but I don't know. I don't think this movie could be remade today, and I don't think it's not because of the things that I mentioned. I just don't think that today's generation would probably grasp it the way that a 1985 generation did, as being more relatable.
Everything would be taken too seriously. The younger generations now have no sense of humor, really.
No, they don't. You don't see any comedies anymore. Not as many as there used to be.
Not teen comedies.
I think you have to do it in more relatable fashion. I think what this movie does, and we joked about the cereal boxes and things of that nature, but this movie does seem to know what 1980
Oh, of course. For the era, it's right on.
Right.
I mean,
So if you
you're not
do-
going to have the Paperboy gag in a new version of it.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how you would replace that character.
Right.
Yeah.
That
I don't know in what vein you would replace that character.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably just maybe an overzealous person with maybe the subscription guy, because they still do the subscription. People still come over to houses and ask for them to
Or they offer coupon books.
coupon
Yeah,
books
but
is
it's
one of those
not.
things.
It's not. It's rare. It's not relatable to really today's generation. Even working on cars and fixing up cars and racing. I mean,
Right.
there's sports.
Well-
Oh my good, skiing. Oh my, no.
Not skiing anymore because that's the 80s
Yeah.
out of that has gone. Maybe pickleball. I don't know.
Yeah,
But,
definitely pickleball. Yeah, yeah.
But I think you can. But like I said, you have to change things up a little bit. I mean, you have a
John
lot of,
Cusack plays the father.
I will put it this way: I wouldn't want to be the one to try to figure out how to do it.
No, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either.
I think in this day and age, with everything that's going on with our younger generation, I think it's harder for our like us as parents or our age group to relate with kids of today, because there are so many drastic changes. Like in the 80s, when we were kids and our parents were taking care, the changes weren't as drastic. You didn't have, first of all, you didn't have the internet. You didn't
Right,
have social
right.
media type of things.
Right.
You didn't.
Social
so
media changed everything.
social media changed everything, and I think
Yep.
that's where this movie, a remake, would have to be involved, is getting social media involved in the whole
He
thing.
would, the breakup would come over social media, and
Wouldn't even be a text. It would be
she took my name
Snapchat.
off of
Yeah, yeah.
She took my name off Facebook as being in a relationship.
oh,
and-
kids don't use
Or she put
Facebook
out
anymore.
She put out
Yeah,
TikTok
that's
for
true.
everybody to see.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So I mean, these are the things that I think that they would need to do. So it wouldn't be an exact
It's-
remake because it can't be, but it would be. But you could still do this type of movie.
But would it be
It's
funny
hard.
though? But would it be funny?
Yes,
Probably.
You could
I
always
don't
make
know.
something
Maybe
funny.
you could probably do it. I mean, even a good coming of age teen movie like Mean Girls is not even really relatable now.
But I was gonna say, that movie's like 25 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
They just did a sequel this past
they
year.
did.
You have more serious movies that tackle this, like Perks of a Wallflower. Those type of movies, do a little bit serious. But
That's a
I think you could
great
take
movie.
something like that, and I think with the right comedy team, you can make it funny.
You
I
could.
mean-
It's gonna. Yeah,
There's still
Uh,
funny movies out there that offend people. Let's be honest. There are a lot of funny movies out there that offend people. Seth Rogen doesn't give a shit if he offends you.
South
Right.
Park still exists.
South Park still exists, and they offend people all the time.
Especially this season.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's
great.
out of
I
control. It's awesome.
Love every second of it.
Right now, it's more of, it's funny because of what side of the fence that you may be on. Are you a liberal? Are you a conservative? What you find funny might fall into your political agenda these days. You have some people
Yeah.
that are in the middle, like I like to think I could care less if if it's funny, it's funny.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
find some
Right.
of the things I find about South Park are extremely funny, but I don't consider myself a liberal or a conservative. But
I just generally dislike people that can't laugh at themselves.
I think that's the difference between now and when we were younger, is that it's hard to laugh at yourself.
We had to have a thick skin
they take
because
that away.
we saw it. We saw like Eric's talked about. You love stereotypes.
Love them.
Well, we had them in every movie and every TV show.
And
you had to have a thick skin.
people
didn't-
today don't have thick skins.
No.
No.
There is no skin. It's everything hits a raw nerve, and everything gets taken 10 times over
Right.
the top, over ridiculous stuff.
Over exaggerated that it didn't need to be. You're right.
Right. So at some point, when you start to be that person that screams at the top of your lungs over everything, it loses its punch, because then you're just offended at everything. And so we had to grow up where, we're gonna see the dorky guys in Revenge of the Nerds. You're
Mhm.
gonna see dorks. I mean, hell, TGIF Fridays, we saw Steve Urkel every week. I mean, come on.
So sorry
there-
about that.
I mean, but let's be perfectly honest.
That was a top 10 show. People loved it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I watched them show every week. You had to have a thick skin. And that's where comedy is so interesting now. Because I don't think this younger generation wants to laugh at anything.
And I don't think the younger generation would probably find this movie humorous at all either. I don't think
Probably
they'd
not.
get the gags. I don't think they'd
No.
get the sight jokes.
I can just take my daughter.
Just people
My
of our
daughter
age.
she would never watch this movie.
No. This is definitely
My
most of your mid
my-
80 movies like this are geared towards us.
my children adore this movie.
That's good.
Nathan, he's 27, and Nick is 21.
Because you duct taped them to the chair and made them watch it.
No, they wanted to watch this, to be honest with you. In fact, when they heard I was doing it as a podcast, they're like, "You're doing that movie? Oh, I love that movie."
Maybe I'll listen.
Okay.
I think it all
Well,
depends.
maybe my daughter like it. I don't know. Hard telling at this point.
I think it all depends on what kids are brought up with, too. I mean, if
Right.
kids are brought
Well,
up
I've-
liking our comedies that we like, Airplane and things of that nature, they may like this movie still.
My opinion is overall, the majority, I think, because you got to also look at
Yeah.
the parents that are raising the kids too.
Oh
Just
God,
like
yeah.
teenagers,
They're
for example.
they're
You
they're
know,
just as bad.
But I don't know. I mean, comedy, when it's funny, will cross generations regardless.
It used
Well,
to.
no,
I don't know if it still does.
I still think kids of this day and age love Blazing Saddles. Kids of this age still love Airplane. You know, I still think these
Kids of
these
what
movies-
age?
Of this age.
Of what age?
Like 13, 14 years old right now.
That are
Yes.
13 or 14 years old
Yes.
would like
I think
Blade.
so.
I think
totally disagree.
if you sat
Oh,
a room
no.
full of kids down to watch Blazing
They
Saddles,
couldn't sit down and watch anything for 20 minutes.
I think that you would be brought up on charges.
Yeah, there's no way in hell they would
No,
like those movies.
I would disagree
No.
with you on that.
You, someone's got their blinders on over here, Lane.
No.
That's not the case. No. I would love to take a poll. I would be very interested in like
that'd be
a
very
scientific poll on
interesting.
that one.
There's still people in their 20s right now who are reviewing movies that still feel like those movies are funny as shit.
They're
Those are
like us,
those are
though.
people that like movies.
Right.
Those are
Exactly.
people that like movies.
So if you have kids that like movies, and there are kids out there that like movies, and
Yes.
you know,
I said the
They're gonna
majority,
like this
Ken.
movie.
I said the majority.
I think you sell kids and generations a little short. They talked about us like that when we were kids. With that, our music sucked. What we liked sucked. So what? We became our parents, basically, is what you're saying.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would say it's somewhere in between what you're saying and what I'm saying. I don't think it's.
Most likely. Usually there's partial truths and everything.
Okay, so for
yeah.
example, all right, so I'll say just survey says if we surveyed 100 kids of age 13 or 14
That like to watch movies.
that like to watch movies,
Let's
good
get
luck
that.
with
already
that,
just-
but let's
You've
go
already
along with it.
just
Let's go along with it.
narrowed down our
Kids
key
that are-
audience
I mean,
here.
13
we
or
could do the
14.
same- we could do the same thing with kids of our age, that that are in their 40s and 50s. If they didn't like movies back in the 80s, they're not going to give a shit about an Airplane movie anyway because they didn't like movies anyway.
But you forget, kids of our age and generation, we didn't
We
grow up
went
on
to
the
see-
internet, and we
we
did
went
not
to
have
see the movies.
smartphones. Kids nowadays that have the smartphones and have internet and everything, all they do
Yeah.
is walk around looking at that little phone. They don't watch movies. They don't watch
But they
TV.
But they have easier access to those movies than we did. If we'd be lucky if we saw Airplane once a year, unless we went to the video store and rented it. These kids can pull that up on their phone without even paying a nickel for it.
But they're not going to. There's 800,000 things they'll pull up before it, and it's called TikTok.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like telling me that none of the kids these days listen to the Beatles or listen to any type of 50s or 60s or 70s music.
They do sometimes when it's ironic. And again, it depends on your parents, too.
I don't think that's.
If I see
that's
another
the case.
Nirvana shirt out there, I'm going to,
In fact, I will
pull
tell
a
you
Kurt Cobain.
that music more than movies is cross generational.
That I would agree with. I would agree with that
I
100%.
I agree with
Because
that.
listening to something does not take as much attention span as watching something. And kids
Right.
today don't have attention spans. I would say if I'm gonna throw this number out here, and this would be a great debate. We should have the people, our listeners, actually comment on this. What do you folks think out there? Do you think I'm the crazy one, or do you think Ken's the crazy one? We've turned this into a different podcast here. We've gone on a tangent here. Well, let's talk about some of the music that's in this. We got Van Halen doing "Everybody Wants Some." We've got claymation.
That's a high point.
It is a high point. The claymation is very good. What is that?
There's some songs in here from the movie Real Genius.
There are, and that's what I want to talk about. The soundtrack of this movie. You never hear about the soundtrack. I think the music, do you agree or disagree that the music that is used in this movie is helpful? It is definitely helps participation in the scenes. It really moves the movie along.
Not the part
it
where
makes the claymation scene much more palatable.
I'm a kid of the 80s. That's what we had, claymation.
You got to have claymation. That was the California Raisins, right?
Manhattan Transfer. I don't know if you remember the song. So Food to Go. So that was a big video back in the
Transfer.
time.
Wow.
God, I haven't thought about them in so long.
Yeah.
Land of Confusion with the puppets from from
Spit and Image, English company.
These things were big. And my wife would agree with you, Ted. She hates anything that has claymation in it. So
I don't hate it.
So you must hate Gumby.
I was going to say, do you hate Gumby?
I don't care for Gumby.
And Judge Sluggo and what's his dog, Pokey?
Yeah. Pokey, yeah. I think the
Mr. Bill. Do you hate Mr. Bill?
You hate Mr. Bill?
I like Mr. Bill.
Oh
no, Mr. Bill.
How can you hate Mr.
Yeah,
Bill?
no,
Even SNL had Mr. Bill.
The funniest part of Gumby is Eddie Murphy doing Gumby.
Gumby, damn it! Yes.
I will say
this I don't hate claymation. I think that adding Van Halen over it makes it much more.
It's kind of ironic they put it in the movie because it's the 80s and it's we got to have claymation.
It wasn't supposed to be in the movie. This was actually made up for. I guess they were going to do something a little bit more serious. I don't know.
Didn't you say the director does a lot of claymation stuff?
Yeah. He did back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah, he was an artist. He was an artist too. The problem with the music of this movie is when Dottie from Pee-wee's Big Adventure decides she needs to sing and at the dance. Do we really need to have that? That was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I was going to bring that up too. You got in a lot of these 80s movies you have, and I think that girl, I think she's in like 3 or 4 of them. Just horrible, bad 80s knockoff.
Her voice isn't bad. It's just the music is horrible.
Yeah, it's a train wreck.
And of course, it's called "Better Off Dead." The song. So
of course. Oh yeah. Well, you have to. You got to work that in. Of
course, yes.
You got to work it in.
But a lot of these other songs fit the time. I mean, like I said, a couple of these songs show up in the soundtrack to Real Genius. I mean, people were recycling these type of movies all the time in the 80s films. So.
Yeah, I mean it's typical 80s fare. But I think the Van Halen is the standout.
Actually, out of all of them, the Van Halen song is probably the one that doesn't fit the movie.
Not at all.
Right.
No.
Right, it doesn't.
Because it is 1980. If memory serves me correct.
Fair warning. Yeah, it's 80s. No, it's 80s. Fair warning. Yeah, and probably to pay for the rights to use that one.
Oh, definitely.
That whole scene right there just is totally weird. I mean, not saying that I don't like it because I think it is kind of interesting. You have the fries that are jumping into the fryer and stuff like that. So
we can agree that they definitely he was imagining that
homage to Frankenstein building up the hamburger.
It's very bizarre.
It is a little bizarre.
I think they replaced it with the owner being the crap out of Lane. I think that's what really ends up happening. Besides
the guy
him,
from Porky's.
Yeah, the guy from Porky's. Yeah.
A movie that couldn't be made today.
I think
it couldn't be made today.
I think
Absolutely
any movie could be made today. I think any movie can be made today. It's a question of would anybody go see it, but I think any movie can still be made.
Would they make a sequel too?
It would never get out of.
How did Sausage Party
production.
get out?
The only reason that it exists is because I believe that it's a cartoon.
But it's a nasty cartoon.
It's. I think it's funded,
cartoon.
Isn't it? It's Rogan, right?
It's.
And I'm sure he had a lot of funding behind it.
you still have these comical writers that write for blatant, just in your face, nasty jokes. Okay, and so I think anything can still be sent out. It's a question if people are going to accept it. What have been the biggest comedies over the last 5 years?
I don't even think American Pie could get made today.
I think it's. In fact, they're talking about another American Pie coming out.
We should have another
God.
National Lampoon style movie.
Oh dear God!
The National Lampoons.
I hope they leave the American Pie people alone.
Well, they did a few of those American Pie direct-to-video ones.
Oh dear Lord!
Yeah, so
I
it's
didn't watch even a single
exactly
one.
at some point the train stopped,
but
they kept going.
The original, I don't even know if it would get out of production.
I don't know.
There's some very questionable things.
Well, of course, it's a coming of age comedy in more ways than one, but yeah, there's some questionable stuff. It really all depends on, at this point in this day and age, the movie funding, the movie house. Miramax isn't doing them anymore, so who's doing the funding?
No, they're not.
No, they're not. So who's doing the comedies like that anymore? Yeah. To answer your question, Ken, I'll be honest, man. I'm drawing a blank of the last 5 years, but I'm sure there's some good ones out there.
There are still comedies out there that
there are
that push the envelope, and people still watch. But
the envelope changes. The bar moves. A good comedy is a good comedy. I mean, in my opinion, a good comedy will stand the test of time, and I know you agree with that.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to continue to have great comedies.
I mean, look at Deadpool. They get away with so much shit, and how much they make fun of so many different.
It's a lot of homages to the 80s too.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
a lot of 80s and 90s stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about stereotypes? They go after the stereotypes in those movies. And so you tell me that those movies can't be made anymore, but they're the biggest blockbusters that we've had.
It's because of superhero movies.
It's because Ryan Reynolds pushes the envelope in those movies.
He's funny.
We are laughing our ass off. Ryan Reynolds is doing his thing.
I love Ryan. I love him in the movie Waiting. I love Ryan Reynolds. His sarcasm is top tier.
I hate to use the term politically correct, but there's that group of people that
woke.
I don't think that
use the W word.
I don't think some of the I hate that word.
I know.
I just think that some of the studios won't take a risk. I was surprised that Disney went along and did Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well,
I was very happy that they did it.
So, last question. What was your favorite scene in the movie? It's a tough one for me, and I'm sure it's a tough one for Ken. Ted, I don't know.
For me, it's when Lane realizes that Monique is somebody that he can move on from Beth with. He realizes that there's so much more to her and that she's probably better for him than Beth was. I think that's to me, that's one of the saving graces of the movie. I really like that. Because he comes to it all on his own. Nobody around him is going to help him. So he comes to that realization on his own, and I think that's a real payoff for that character.
How about you, Ken? What scene sticks out for you?
I have a few that stick out really quickly.
I knew you would.
Yeah, I would say definitely the part where he ends up in the garbage truck. That's
one of my favorites. Yep,
that's definitely funny. The dinner scene with Ricky's mom and Ricky,
and
he accidentally blows her up. And the mom. This is where I kind of like the mom. French fries, French bread, and to drink Peru.
Yes, Perrier. Yes, yeah,
yeah. So of course this is pure snow. I do like that. There's a lot of fun stuff. The first time you hear him talk Howard Cosell, of course, there's just a lot of things here and there. I understand why Ted went with what he wanted, because he wanted to get the moment where the guy has that realization and goes after the girl that he should be going after all along. But for me, it's about the funny stuff in the movie. That's what drives me to these scenes.
I would agree. There's numerous scenes. I like all the ones you mentioned. I like the scene where he's his mom's got the recipe and cooks the. She had to exaggerate some of the ingredients, and the food moves off the plate. I like it. I like the banter between him and his father. Yeah. Him trying to relate to his son, him trying to be stern with his son, him telling him what he's going to do. I like the banter between him and his father. And now on the opposite end, what scene did you not like the most?
Well, Eric, I'm sorry, but most of the stuff that you just mentioned.
Can you narrow one down, Ted? Just one scene. What scene did you... I've got one. There's one scene I don't like that just irritates me.
If there's one that just is the most galling...
Yeah, but you roll your eyes, you're like, whatever.
It's probably when she makes the food and the food crawls off the plate.
So you didn't think that was remotely humorous?
No.
Okay.
It was so bad to me.
Ken?
I'm not a big fan of the little brother scenes outside of the trashy women that happen to be in his room.
They're weird too. Yeah,
I like that, but I don't care for the laser that he creates and shoots at the box.
Space shuttle at the end.
The space shuttle at the end, that's kind of overboard at the end. Yeah, you didn't really need the space shuttle thing. I think if they just stuck with the one joke about the trashy woman, I think that would have been fine with that. I think that part is hilarious, but all the other stuff that he's buying and creating, it's a little much.
For me, these 80 movies, they all have kind of like a script of how they go through. And in every 80s movies, there's always that scene. And in this one, it falls under the category of they're working on the car together. They're underneath the car. They've got that cheesy music playing in the background. It's like the bonding scene now where...
The montage.
The montage, thank you. Where he now starts to relate to her and fall for her. I hate that. And I really hated it in this movie. I was just like rolling my eyes going, oh, here we go. Yep, got to have it. So that was my scene. I just rolled my eyes.
I like the montage. You had to speed things up with the love interest for a 90-minute movie.
It doesn't kill the movie for me because it is part of that whole thing of him coming to realize that she's the person for him.
No, I wanted that. I just didn't like the way it went. Using the car as the...
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Yes.
I will say. But yeah.
And turning it into a piece of junk into a gem, and now it's going to be the big street racing hot rod overnight.
Right, until it turns into a Camaro SS.
Yeah. If that was like a few week process where it took a few weeks for them to get that all together, then I would buy it more. And then he's like, all of a sudden, I got to re-Stalin tomorrow, and then he's got to
exactly. Right.
That takes it completely.
That's fine. It's all right. Let's go into our reviews. How about it, gentlemen?
Sounds good.
All right, Ken, let's kick it off with you.
I love this movie.
I know you do.
This is pure 80s, especially mid 80s. This is my wheelhouse in 1985. John Cusack is one of my favorite actors of this period, from 85 to probably 2005. John Cusack might be my favorite actor. The comedy is it's silly. It is all over the place. Sometimes it goes a little too far, but when it's funny, it's really funny. I'm going to take a page out of what Ted sometimes says, and not to take it too seriously. This is not a movie to take seriously. Granted, the subject matter of suicide, that is a serious subject. But like I said earlier, I think they play it off well. They don't give them like 100% committed to being suicidal. I think that the ways they get out of it are good. They're not awesome, but they're good enough to make it, skate by. Lane is a very likable guy. He's very relatable. I like Monique. I wish I had an exchange student like that when I went to high school. Maybe she would have got me out of my shit at that time. I'm going to give this 4.5, folks.
Cool. All right. Well, I agree with most everything Ken said. This is a fun movie. It's got some things that are a little over the top and a little stupid, but you know what? I get past them. It's fine. I don't take this movie seriously, and this movie doesn't take itself seriously. And this is definitely a really strong beginning for John Cusack and his acting career. Might even kind of typecast him a little bit for a while. But it's a fun movie. Anytime I see it on, I'm going to sit down and watch it. I quote it. It's a fun, harmless movie. Yeah, okay, it's got some suicide stuff in it. I get it. We didn't look at suicide as we did now as we did then. So take it with a grain of salt. But overall, this is a fun movie. I'm really glad we did it. 4 hooks solid. Oh, I can't wait to hear Ted's. I am just anticipating this moment. I'm going to write a number down. Ted, you write a number down too, because I'm curious. And then when he gives his, we will hold up how many hooks.
No, you need to tell. You need to tell.
No, I can't. No, because
Okay.
after you say it, we'll hold it up and we'll see how close we were.
Okay. So I said at the beginning of when we started answering the questions, I'm extremely aware that I am late to this party. And being late to this party is very unfortunate because I think that there was probably a me that exists in another universe that saw this in the 80s and probably liked it. I actually enjoyed talking about this movie with the both of you more than I actually liked the movie.
Oh.
Outside of Lane, I don't relate to any of the other characters. I really don't like them.
You don't have to relate to them, but the liking thing is important.
I don't like them. I think that when you're talking about a coming of age teenage movie that's a comedy, I think it's been done much better by better writers. Macho Man Randy Savage here I think that he is right where he should be, directing kids' TV shows for Nickelodeon and Disney. He should not be making another movie. I understand why people probably like it, and I'm not going to yuck on anybody's yum about this because comedy is subjective. I can understand why Ken likes it because it hits him right in the feels.
Hits him right in the feels?
Yeah, it hits all the feels. For me, probably 2.75.
Oh, I gave it 1.5. What did you put?
2.
2. Wow, you liked it better than we thought. 2.75?
It's not Assassins. I mean, come on, let's be perfectly honest. Which is a movie that I actually like.
But I did not. I believe I gave it 0, if I remember right. It's 1,
and I think I gave it 1.5. Yeah. I understand why people like it. I understand that it's an 80s movie. Do I consider it one of the classic 80s movie comedies? No, absolutely not. It doesn't hold a candle to any of the John Hughes movies. John Hughes is so much infinitely smarter and a better writer than Randy Savage.
Any of the John Hughes movies.
Yeah, I was going to say this.
This is maybe Weird Science. If anything, maybe
Weird Science, a Christmas Vacation.
And I would prefer this over Weird Science.
John Hughes knew comedy.
I really don't like Weird Science, to be honest with you.
I'm not a big fan with Weird Science here. Yeah. So I like this one definitely more than Weird Science.
But you're right. John Hughes generally is a more, I'd say it's more of a highbrow. It's more of a intellectual comedy. Yeah, at the end you're like, wow. Yeah, no, I get it.
It's thought-provoking. This is not a thought-provoking.
Yeah.
And I liked this movie better than Revenge of the Nerds.
Well, there's a marketing plug right there, right? There's your tagline.
I'm still surprised by the 2.75.
I was too.
I always put 2.25 down for you because of the discussion, but
the discussion pushed it up, and like I said, I understand that I'm late to this party. And
it's not being late to the party. It's you either like it or you don't. I mean,
it's. I understand its significance. We'll put it that way.
All right,
but I won't watch it again.
I get that. That's fine.
Unless Ken makes me.
I got other movies to make you watch, like Spies Like Us and stuff. And
Oh,
John Wayne
Lord
movies.
in heaven.
I know, Ted, you don't think this is a very iconic 80s movie, and we get that. But I think you'll agree with our next movie is a
Yes.
very iconic 80s movie.
Yes.
Maybe the most iconic 80s movie.
Possibly,
It's
yes.
definitely in the top 5, if
It
not
has to
top
be.
3.
It has to be.
It is. And what movie is that, Ken?
I've never heard of this movie before. Back to the Future.
No question
When
mark there. It's not
when
Back
did
to
that
the
come-
Future.
When did that come out?
1985.
Doesn't ring a bell.
No.
They-
One of our competitors, if you will,
Uh-oh.
on their podcast, they have their producer, who is a 20-something, watch
Okay.
the movies, who's never seen any of the movies they talked about ever,
Right.
and gives them the
Okay.
20-something perspective of the movie. And it's usually very interesting. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Hooked on Movies, a podcast. We've definitely jumped the shark on this episode, maybe. I don't
And
know.
Henry Winkler was part of this.
And we did mention Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
How often do we
So,
mention
yeah.
the great Henry Winkler in our
The
podcast?
great.
Not enough.
The
Not
great?
enough.
He is a great director. He's
He
a great
is
actor.
Okay.
He is great. He is.
All right.
He is
He's
great.
more than the
He's the-
Fonz.
And the Fonz is
Is
iconic.
he?
Is
he?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Is he?
Yeah,
Really?
yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes.
He is.
All right. I guess I'll take your word for it.
Okay, take my word for it.
He's still.
Well, I
the
guess on that note, I'll say, hey.
Fonz. See you at the movies.
See you next time on Hooked on Movies.